Too many is the answer, with all the audibles starting to be heard now. Eternal Fire have a good idea. And well, site almost taken, but denied, forced back. The players now starting to come through. Cloud seen, and well, that spike down.
Oh, yeah, Eternal Fire have numbers here, Cairo. They've managed to shut it all down. Spear with 3. The desk talked about it. Now Westside needs a few more Headhunter bullets to get through this. Just 3 and 4 targets.
Players all low though, that's the big. So there is some notice put on this site.
Good information. Skylen already here, supported by Spear. The cam set up and can't play for the retake. Looking to flood back in again between the duo, but the shots just don't land. GX get the better of it and can now move into post.
Yeah, and with all the utility you could possibly want, the Tahoe, the Astra, this should be clear cut and dry as in terms of a post plan.
That it should. GX with all of the insurance policy. Ara looking to play Scorched Earth in the site with Flickless. The first flash teed up. Ara can't find what he's looking for. Izzy does instead. Captain continuing to lead from the front, but time persists to be the biggest issue for Eternal Fire. Sterben's gonna get to work on this first engagement, but the star is already placed, and the fate's settled as far as we're concerned. Not too much more that can be done now by Eternal Fire than hopefully just get out with the guns. Try as they might, Izzy goes down. Seeing the reveal come in, Hunter's Fury is placed into Link. It inhibits Anima's performance a bit, but Izzy unperturbed by the situation, diving deep into enemy lines, and does go punished by Westside.
Spike down, no, that's the biggest issue. So we look at Westside to try and recollect this spike.
Hat off the head means that Westside's position will be revealed, and that just allows the Eternal Fire comfortable to walk out behind the cages and challenge this again.
Well, second ultimate used. Flickless is the one to get the kill, and as he walks through Ara, is Stinger getting to work. So we're seeing a clear advantage for GIANTX. They're going to invest another ultimate here through the Cosmic Divide, and that post plant, as we've spoken about, is very strong.
Yeah, Teho Annihilation and Breach ult available as well. At the very least, Eternal Fire might want to bait out some of these ults with how strong the post plant is.
That's right. Izzy trying to pop through the Cosmic Divide means that Ara takes his timing. The Classic also working out, and he can't even get the trade. How has he got another? Ara
should have been dead.
That's a massive play from him. And I think that's going to be GIANTX to win the round. A heavy investment, but one which they'll be happy to walk away.
Eternal Fire are considering the possibility of this B-pop.
Yeah, and this is going to be nice setup, I thought, from the Rolling Thunder, but it misses. Skylen with an opportunity, but can't quite make it work. Spear now on site, has to hold things down, but he can't connect the shots. GIANTX, they'll get their post plan.
And into another very strong situation, unless Anima can interrupt, but it isn't clean.
It isn't, and well, you can see Anima still wanting to continue. A player who's usually
costly round for Eternal Fire. Should be echoing on the next for him. Flickless was thinking about things, and they are aware of these gaps. The timing's on the drone there for Izzy to find the kill and the follow-up. Nearly a third, as the bullet is a whisker away from Ara, who dives in to reclaim the spike, but that's about it.
Yeah, and he wastes key pieces.
GX are looking for an A finish here if possible, and Ara has managed to bridge the gap at the very least with the spike on his back.
That's the big point here, but you can see already, Izzy investigating B main. There is that player though, working through mid sterben, not sterben, apologies, grubinho. And to see how much value he can get from his point.
If Eternal Fire do want to retake, they have ults available. Cosmic Divide invested, just saving the null command for now. With how strong GX's post plants have been, it's going to be important. But still, the round is not yet won. Westside in play with an operator by his side. Ara as well. Two clean kills. Start to worry about the possibility of a flank coming in through middle, as GX did make that a priority early. Sterben forced to fight, but Westside from an elevated position will drop him into the abyss. The corpse falls 40 stories as the spike goes in.
Usually the team with the advantage in the post plant is the one to win, whether that's retaken or holding. So right now GIANTX
ultisiyle
probably
retake atabilir
favours
miyiz
to win
peki?
this round.
But that's where the KO ult comes in, and Eternal Fire put a high priority on winning this round. Westside elevated position still gives him a potential angle into security here.
Westside
He's yet to
pozisyonu
be
sıkıntı.
asked of as it's Flickless going 1-for-1. Miss shot off Izzy means that Ara can then follow
Tane
things
vurdu.
up. And with that, it is looking secure for GX. Izzy looking to escape with the operator, but Cloud is a couple steps ahead.
You see those trips? Those are kill trips. They know exactly what they need, but you look at where the ultimate's jumped up. That's a problem. Ara now missing his opportunity to actually take the heaven space off of the stunt. So Spike goes down, and it's 5 versus 5.
Very quick flood back here from Eternal Fire, though. Spear caught in the crosshairs. Can't find what he was looking for. And the aftershock is opportune from Flickless because it's managed to stop that initial wave coming back in from the defender's side.
And this post plant now looks even more set up with Westside holding heaven, Ara holding CT, and the trades looking great. GX look to trade things out 6-6, but not if sterben can provide something. You can see delay being prepared through Cloud, and with the stars going down, they're immediately committed to salvos. Cloud has taken damage, and he's fully blind and pulled into the open. Does have the support of Grubby, and he's hitting everything that's needed. About to win the pistol round all by him. I mean, Flickless, you know how far that stun can reach, but it doesn't seem as if Ara needs it just yet. Sorry, not the operator, it's the outlaw. Ready to fire away. First shot sent, and Izzy now activates. The players on site are under fire. It is a nice hinder, but how is this going to hinder the take coming through? It seems by the headhunter of Westside and the rifle of Ara. It should be what GX needed. A bonus round converted. The spike.
There's ways to get out of this situation.
Well, Izzy's operator fires off, and as you said, the dash being used and already out into safety, but there is a star being placed to try and deal with them. Spear holding mid is successful, and Westside now pushed away. So we look at Arrow once again, hiding within the corner, but easily cleared through. Westside can't make it work. So that spike goes down, and Grubinho comes back.
Finding access to the site.
Oh, it's a great flash and a great setup as well. Capitalise. So, Ara forced into a position he doesn't want to be in. Back to the wall. Can he find anything off the back of it? The answer, no. Well cleared by Spear.
Yeah, the decision there from Ara with no refract was to just move forward and take the jewels. Flickless has spotted the cross, but he can't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic shot. So Westside's tour de force is up next. A big obstacle in one which will actually be scanned, but not one that will be easy to clear out. Izzy round the back like ships in the night will finally get the kill. Cloud looks like he doesn't want anything to deal with it, so we are going
all too much of a counter round gap, and it's a much quicker play towards B with the KO ult.
Oh, and Spear in mid, this time he's the one with the operator, but the neural theft, probably most important at the moment. The third ultimate in the round for Eternal Fire, but one that nets them, enables them to set up perfectly in the post. Great setup for Izzy once again.
And GX have no choice but to walk away and try to save face from this. Flickless will get a consolation, but there are no tangibles for them here. Brilliant call from Eternal Fire. They have the KO ult available. They have the Cosmic Divide. And so all of those utility problems that they faced against GX just fade away.
Oyunun sesi de çok az diyorsunuz. Sonra iyi mi böyle?
What's so funny?
Just in my head, like you said fade away, and I was like, it was like wave after wave. You know that song?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, slowly drifting.
Yeah. I don't know why that made me giggle. Maybe I'm brain rotted, mate.
No, you are. You have longest recon dart of all time, but Grubby has the util support here, and GX are fighting for the main control. They're winning it as well. First couple go their way, but then Eternal Fire have a retort. So overall, green lighting access to A, but they've still not made it past this initial line of defense.
Yeah, they're thinking
Ama
with the
sterben
delays, there's
sarsılarak
gonna be
falan mı
bodies
öldü?
here
Nasıl öldü ki
already, which
patlayıcıya?
there is,
Bomba mı
but
yaptılar?
not on site. GIANTX are waiting for the response, a tap of the spike, and especially with that wheelie ultimate, the converging paths, that could be the real difference maker.
GX walking back out. Is it into trouble? Spears up on the line, but the util drops in, and that's where things start to get scary. Westside walking out, but Spear has this one accounted for. First shot lands, and Westside can't meet the same sort of success, not until he has a second crack at it. Skylen now in the side. The veteran in the 1 versus 1. Spike at his disposal, time as well. Westside playing a patient game.
Waiting for the spike to be committed, at least so we knew. And with that being planted now, he has to retake with an operator. And Skylen's gone above.
Westside has been good for this shot, and with Skylen giving away the game, Westside
Yine
has a
çıkarsa
rough
drone'u var
idea
aslında ama çıkmak
where
istemiyor.
that Sova player is. Now tucked in close. Westside peeking. Skylen peeks away and just
Timing'e
looks
bak.
against Fnatic. Way back in the end of the first.
So it's towards the B site. West side's operator in heaven. And actually, he hasn't had any smokes put on his position. Had a chance to get a kill, but the flash stopped, and Ara now has to escape as well. So the B site taken, and there's players making their way towards the site.
GX coming back in with retake. Teho ult available. They don't disrupt early. They play the numbers game.
Sterben playing up close and personal. A question of who clears and if they can clear him, because this is an opportunity for a phantom up close that goes amiss, goes awry, and allows GX back into the site. Spears operator has to try and hold on, has to try and win Eternal Fire here, but with this position right now and Ara bearing on down, it'll be GIANTX. Sova has already taken damage, and players distracted, dragged away onto the B site, and forced now to try and stand up against a barrage of Eternal Fire players. Cloud on 5 HP, should never have got away with 2. But it's the 2 players on site, on B, that we have to look at next to hold things down. They do so successfully for a moment, but it is a 2-on-2.
Westside to get overwhelmed here.
It looks like he is going to be able to withstand, though, as he's trying to play Grubby in from Market. Swing out, denial of the spike. 45 seconds Skylen has to win this one. We'll at least get the spike back, and a route in towards the backside. A tap does bring out Grubby from Market. A headshot! No TPs.
Shot through the smoke, though. It's Spear on the receiving end. Eternal Fire trying to accelerate towards the A site, and Grubby taking damage, gets revealed. Izzy punishes, 20 seconds. Eternal Fire creeping closer, but the bodies are here for GIANTX. Ara taking the timing through the smoke, but Cloud is still alive, deep in the site, entrenched behind the metal box. He's only good for 1. It is a 1v1, and the spike's out in elbow. These sonic sensors are going to be a great counter to the Neon moving in, and has already slowed up the pace a bit.
And it has, and GX have already started to take control of the kill feed here. And you look at Ara, starting to make his way through. No real sentinel utility to stop him. And with that spike down, the other 2 players are trying to play away. The paranoia looks good, has hit at least 2. So Ara takes his timing, at least 1. Can he get more than this? Because no, in fact, he's going to play in Grubby, who's ready to set up the round for a GX win. To approach it, but they do anticipate the A push.
Most importantly, GX bring bodies to this. Is he able to find one? And it's a collat damage onto Grubby, but can't trade off of this deep corner that Grubby is currently sat in. Needed the first shot to land, but swings at it early, and sterben will drop him. Everything on Cloud here now, and with his position revealed, you're not expecting much. Still finds 1, but that won't cut it to deal with if they are pushing on this. Ara has a huge opportunity. Not gonna find the shot it was looking for, but Izzy can. Slides back in to confirm it. Cloud following up with the ult, but that only gets 1. Res comes through, sterben back on their feet. And with that new lease of life, the Nightfall comes in. Grubby trying to stand his ground, can't find the shots, and with that the site falls. Eternal Fire in position, but westside chasing this up with another ult, which misses. Anima still going as the fire keeps burning.
Kuş uçuyor bu map'te, öyle miymiş lan?
On the GX. He was thinking of a double peek here, but Grubby takes it solo off of the jump, and Ara left rendered useless.
I don't think he's useless. He's at least holding on towards A main, but the rest of the team now maybe a little bit stressed in the form of how they have to hold on to the rest of the map. Cloud just walking down mid.
Sterben needs the crosshair in the right place, but as he tucked to the wall, finds Cloud back. As you say, Ara has his part to play in this round, and the question is, does he want to gain any additional ground? Somewhat held back by the fact that mid is now an issue as well. GX's strong side is the B site.
As he walks in, can't actually get stunned up, and he pops the ultimate just in case of a pop out. That's a big double, and puts this round into trepidation for Eternal Fire. But westside needed to hit his shot onto the stage, or else Ara was going to be put in a 1 versus 3.
Not willing to play the 2-on, good for it.
Well, the timing of the paranoia just a little off, and that's what's going to net Grubby's death. But Ara at least able to trade out. Worried about sterben's position, clears him. And now 1 away from a second slide. Well,
adamı zorla oyuna soktuk ama.
Happy with what he's got, but that spike still makes its way towards A.
GX showing discipline in this situation to drop back where there is support available for them.
Oh, the timing is insane. Anima nearly getting a chance to go and take a fight on site, and when he does, though, Flickless
on each other's shoulders, looking like a unit.
Set up to aid the crossfire as they try and get in. There is an even trade.
Cloud with only 1. Now, what do Eternal Fire want to do with this space? Maybe heading towards A, you can see it's a huge 1 versus 1 happening in main.
But it's about the top mid space as well.
They peel off from it.
Yeah, don't want anything to do with it. Happy with what they've got so far. Through market is where they look to go next. And Ara's operator getting set up.
Spear is going to be very, very late here in B main. It's all on the market players and mostly Ara for GX to hold.
That timing on the deadlock wall, absolutely huge. Ara, though, missing out could be a problem. Not here, not now, as the second chance works out. Only Ara really seen. That means that westside gets played in. An overdrive used as well. And 20 seconds remaining for that spike to go down. It's GIANTX are at the advantage in the player count. Trying to be proactive, trying to win the round, and it seems like Anima might have his hand forced. It is. He tries to attempt to get the spike down, which he's away, but it's off angles that they opt for.
Ara caught by utility. Westside still favoured though, and with that, he can support. Skylen swooping in and fight. But initial attempts have try and strike.
And well, Cloud just stuck on the edge of the slow is going to allow sterben to mow a couple players down. Shows you how strong the stage can be as the players out of main start to assault towards market. It is a 3 versus 2 in favour of Eternal Fire.
And they have upgrades now as well. A couple of phantoms filtering back through.
Yeah, and that spike on the other side of the door as well. So the problems continue to build for Eternal Fire. Flickless low himself.
A game of spam, not one you want to play.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the health pool. Much more in favour of Eternal Fire. There was a barrel just seen, so Grubby is taking more damage himself. Does get the spike though.
If GX manages to pull this one off, it's the steal of the century. Eternal Fire playing by the numbers. All on Grubby here.
Trying to play into the stack, and that's the problem. I said before, GIANTX haven't felt the brunt of Eternal Fire's bonus buys, but they could feel it here and now as Flickless makes his stand from market, trying to buy something that feels impossible. He already gets it started off perfectly. That molly might be a little off as both players now stand tall, look to stand up against the Vibe.
Paranoia wagered. You can see where GX want to go through top mid, but the slow is perfect. Skylen again striking into the heart of GX on the rifle round. They need to win, and so Flickless and westside can step up to the occasion. They've slipped through the net, and it's fair in their way. The same scoreline which Eternal Fire have on this map. They shall remain undefeated if it carries on like this. And it's certainly looking ever more likely with each passing moment.
Evet, tam bu yazdığın şekilde okudum ben de.
Keeping things ticking over.
Now, a market well stocked. Well, I mean, the fact there's so much here, even Izzy's operator, they have everything that they need now to finish this one, and they can feel it. They can feel that there's it's all relative at the end of the day when it comes to brackets. Flickless, though, will win out that first duel. Yeah, and the players need to be careful here because you can already see the Sky looking to jump spot from Cloud in towards Long, and I think he's seen everything that he needs.
Bender's just gauging this execution as to whether it's something they want to fight immediately, and you can see with the flash in from Cloud, he wants to do so. Grubby holds the line for just a moment. Eventually they will drop, and Cloud can just about get out with his life. Find the shot that follows it up onto Spear as well. Spike in, Anima with time against him for Eternal Fire on A, and GX do not have the numbers here.
Yeah, it's a TP play, just trying to fake out with audibles, but all 5 players for Eternal Fire on A.
Westside in through the TP. Doors open up and Izzy knows it. So Outlaw on the line and supported here as well. The Westside wins the first of those duels and can't quite follow up with the second. Still lamps control for GX, and they will base this retake attempt off the back of it. Flash comes in, but it's over the heads of skylen and Anima. Both will fall as a result. And the defuse starts to get worked on. The hand's busy, but quickly pulled off it by the gravity well. Time ticking away, but there's little delay left here for Eternal Fire. Spear's got to start winning because, as we said, the Waylay has struggled. It's not like you're going to be diving in with it. Nice from Ara. Gifted an opportunity to take what he wants, but Westside will be. And with that, Izzy is gone. Another gap opening up. Skylen can make the difference, though.
And Westside all alone in hookup, but he is calling for support and has it.
Another double TP from GX. Skylen's got a lot of work to do, as does Anima. Skylen getting his hands dirty again, though.
Well, at least Westside cleared, so Hooker control back in favour of Eternal Fire, and they do have the ultimate.
Look at this quick reposition from GX, however.
Birbirini elemedi ki, bundan bu gözle bakamayız gibi.
Moment's notice, and now Skylen's backed up against the wall. Flash clears for info. Won't let Ara out of main just yet. But when he does finally let loose, it's up close with the shorty to close it all out.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
And in the second stage, he really made himself known as one of the best snipers in the region. But even then, you can't send out a second shot before falling to sterben. Good timing, Izzy. Finally, the Waylay starting to get active, tearing through GX as they try and make a stand on the A site. This has to be the round for Eternal Fire.
Izzy adam vurmak için senin yazmanı bekliyormuş.
2 players to come back in. Cloud and the Sage of Westside.
There's a crossfire set up here from Anima's position in bench. The smoke makes things a little more difficult and gives Cloud an opportunity to flash himself out. No trade. Westside still lagging behind here in a 1v3 situation, and as much damage as he would like to heal off.
Down very quickly. Eternal Fire need to be careful, and that ultimate will leave at least one player stranded.
Yeah, it's Spear at the back with a spike in his hands. Waylay ult sends Izzy dashing in, over the wall he goes and gets all 3. Deleted by the ult in the end, but despite GX's best efforts to guide a player of most interest to us right now.
Var ama smoke'umuz yok. Burayı nasıl geçiyoruz?
They have plenty of tools.
They have the cosmic
Güzel
divide.
ultiyle geçiyoruz. Sterben'i unuttum ben, o da Astra oynuyor.
And the players of Eternal Fire need to realize about Ara's position.
Playing from this triple stack again, just looking for something, maybe a quick denial of the spike, but won't happen. If Eternal Fire can take up post, they have Brimol and they have Molly. But they did have Molly.
Yeah, well, it's the flank that's most important for GIANTX now. Is Ara known about that he's at back of sight?
Ara still roaming through lamps. Eternal Fire backed up into this deep post plant. That's where Grubby has to be the star of the show, and he starts well. Sterben falls, 2 on 2. The ult is prepared. And on that first tap, Anima makes no mistake. Onto the smokes. We'll get half.
Nasıl yani?
Ara has given his life up for the cause, and it might not be in vain because there's still a smoke here. Players which now find themselves isolated on B.
So the operator not dissuaded from the flash, and it will be Ara and the kill feed first for this round. The Sage Res not needed just yet, but the utility looks good to force Ara out, but he is able to escape. And time getting low as Ara gets another, and that spike now stranded on B long. Eternal Fire might just have to concede, or it'll be brute force to get themselves out into a spike plant. 15 seconds remain, that spike back down on the ground. It looks like the gap that you've been waiting for, but straight away an orb in your face, and the utility denied. Trying to get back, Eternal Fire can't even get out. 30-second mark is already well past, and as the players try to get into the site, they're completely denied. GIANTX look to get up to 6 right now, as there are 4 players up and only 1 on Eternal Fire's side.
Has everything left to play with. The blind isn't going to hit him. It is a collateral kill instead. The walls go up, and there is no breaching the gates for Eternal Fire. More of the same problems for this attack side. 12 seconds now. No spike under their control. GIANTX up to 8 and doing it with flying colors.
What can Eternal Fire really do here? They've tried the fast plays. Still a Cosmic Divide off the back of this as well, and it's going to be placed towards backside.
Yeah, incredibly deep. It's heaven, in fact. So this aggressive line held by all members of GX. Rotations coming in, and finally, Eternal Fire shows signs of life. But Grubby is here to stop it. The flash is just perfect. Cloud off the back. Can't deny the spike. It's a 2-on-2. And what would Eternal Fire have to win? And
it's one that Ara has an opt to try and get back into the site. Not the weapon of choice, but can he make it work?
Nade comes in and attempts to play Grubby through, but Izzy has the line control, and Anima, even with a molly, wants to be there to support should anything go awry. Oh, bang, not going to connect, but Grubby finds his. So much riding on this. GX making it a quick one.
Oh, Eternal Fire, though, are pretty strong here in terms of the engagements they have. It's not looking great, but it is skylen once again who takes things into his own hands. Ara's right clicks. Is that enough? As it goes to 1 versus 1, Grubinho with a ghost in a hand.
Hadi şimdi sterben demek, ölüm demek, hadi.
Both given time to play here. And just waiting for that star to come up for Sterben. Grubby's going to search this one out, and it might just be the 1v1 in spawn.
Sterben looks away at the wrong time.
Gördü.
Just seen the foot. It's betrayed Grubinho as he tries to get into CT. But the clear, Sterben knows. There it is.
Çok iyi ya, iyi oynuyor.
Sending it towards A now. The rifle spamming through the smoke. Sterben pushed out by the wall. And you having to use the grab well early, which might be a problem later in the round.
Oh, it has decayed Cloud, but no spike denial. 4v4, and Seeker's here for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, at least Flickless off the board, so that's a big bit of delay gone, right? That decay, those mollies, they're gone. And now the players in towards, trying to get this retake working, but Cloud spamming away and getting the kills
Yok
that
mu
are
araya
needed.
vuracak bir tane insan evladı?
Eternal Fire, they've not kicked
Çok iyi.
fire! And he could have just won the round. Grubinho's molly already used. The spike halved at least, but
Tipier. İp atacaklar gibi bayağı kümelendiler ama Izzy keser tipiyi.
But nobody really coming off. It seems as if they're going to hit the TP.
Yeah, and that's where Izzy now comes into action. Flash doesn't
İlk
catch
o da
him.
vermedi.
Outlaw in his hands. And GX walking right into this, but the shot's not hitting.
Labu yine yaptı hareketini.
There's a little bit of delay though. The players are out of shot for GIANTX.
GX have managed to bring this to post 5 versus 5, and so you start to feel like they have a chance here, taking up position behind the wall.
Yeah, you don't actually hate this post plan either. So GIANTX with that shot could put themselves right into the position that they need to.
You've really got to stick your neck on the line to clear out these numbers. Playing from the triple box, skylen gets on the board and doubles up again as well. The plant is open, but the mollies are out, and GX are going to bleed this time bank to the final grains of sand in the bottom of that hourglass as Flickless is just shattering the hopes and
Birer canları var ama çok zor.
Had to be a full stick. It isn't anymore. That's the 3rd
Olmamalıydı.
round. The GX
pushed all the way up a shot in prime position to rotate if needed. GIANTX maybe being a little bit too easy to read here as Eternal
Boş
Fire.
gerek ulti ama Naki.
Where is that Cloud being able to combine off the grab? Well, we are somewhat even as grubinho tries to hold to hook up, can't do it. And it's now up to the players on
Bir
site.
de 2 sterben bir can.
Whether GIANTX want to flip the map here, they know about at least one of those defenders flanking. The other is
Hızlı
Izzy from
geldi
long.
aslında. Cloud yakalarsa
Cloud looks to
yakalayacak
hook up,
gibi mi?
finds
Açılmıyor ki.
himself probably one of the best spots on the site.
Doesn't
but
know.
Does Izzy clear? He does!
Hayır
But he
ya.
doesn't win the fight. So Sterben on 8 HP has to find 2. An impossible task it would seem. Only one start and the reposition from Ara looks good. A
Still
stun.
unable to deliver that win.
The wall not allowing the 2 remaining players at the
Master
back of site
ultimiz
to
var.
get on to
Gekko
deny
ultimiz var.
the spike plant. So we're once again in a very strong GIANTX post plan.
And still, Grubby's been able to bank on that Brim ult as well. I'm not sure if the molly's online. Sure, Spear has the wingman, but GX with the better of the tools, the stronger of the win conditions, and Eternal Fire need this.
They do, or it will be a long road back to overtime. Gonna invest the Cosmic Divide to get onto the spike, but the players playing in front of it. Westside, most importantly. Clouds flash out of the wall. Does end up going Eternal Fire's way momentarily.
Bu için yaşıyor bu arada.
Refract is active, but it does get plenty of players in through sand, and actually GX are looking to take spawn control themselves.
Yeah, and Ara's done so successfully. So spike down, a post plant, which is really difficult to try and get through, especially with this Viper's pit down.
Turnuva formatı bu şekilde yani. Boğuç olsun istemişler. Çok uzun olduğu için de olabilir.
And he's going to catch these players in rotation if the Seekers don't stop him first, at the very least, wedging himself between the rest of Eternal Fire and getting onto the spike defusal. Izzy pops up, finally when needed. 5 versus 3 situation, but time is still the biggest enemy of the Fire. Trying to fight through the flames. It's Westside watching over this, and they're just melting beneath the bright lights. Westside again strikes the heart of Eternal Fire, and that's going to be it for the off-season. Your Project Blender champions through the fire, finally cast in gold, GIANTX.